No. Oh. We're live. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Anderson here. Sorry about that. You get a little caught up in those games there. Got to try that virtual reality thing, man. Oh, I don't know how people would watch people playing that. Okay, so I may have watched just a couple people. Just shut up, get off. Don't judge me. Hey, Mike Anderson here with Living Motion Monograms and the 1% Solution. And today, folks, we are going to be having a little bit of fun and talking about a great new program. It's not really new. We've used it for years, to be honest with you, but I wanted to share it with you because it is incredibly powerful. And I'll tell you what, I've used it for so many different applications. And I think that it's going to be something that you guys can implement into a lot of the stuff that you're doing as well. So, I want to welcome you guys to the live stream. Happy Monday to you on our new time here, 10 a.m. Yes, we thought we'd do it a little bit earlier because, it's late enough to where everybody can see it, but yet not too late in the day where you start getting things going. We want to welcome Howie. Howie is in the chat here. Make sure you guys chime in. Ian's been waiting for like a half hour, I see. So welcome, Ian. If you're still in here, we definitely appreciate you being here. I hope you guys had a great weekend full of events. I had the opportunity. I had two weddings, one Friday, one Saturday, and just a horrible weekend, to be honest with you. The weddings were phenomenal. That's the only thing that got me through it. Just because we had, I've had a little issue. Was in the dentist like 3 times in 2 days for a little issue with a molar that it was going to be simple, just a new crown put on, and it's turned into an infection. And Friday they said, "Hey, Mike, we're going to send you. We need to do dental surgery on your today." And I said, "Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm going out of town for a wedding, so you're gonna have to wait." They said, "No, you really should get it done." And I just wasn't gonna happen. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of soon. But my clients and my events are the only thing that got me through the weekend, because it's been about 5 days of, the only way I can describe it is kind of like a brain freeze for 5 straight days. Drink a Slurpee too fast, you'll see what I mean. And but yeah, the only thing that worries me is that if the infection is in my head, which is a little too close to my brain for comfort, for my taste, if you don't mind. But I'm here with you guys right now, which spikes my day. It makes me happy. Appreciate you guys being here. So as you can tell from the description, we are going to be talking about a program called FastStone Image Viewer. Now, I've talked about this a little bit in a couple other streams, and the main thing behind it is I wanted to go in a little bit deeper and describe exactly kind of how to use it, how it works, and hopefully answer some questions for you guys. I'm excited for a couple reasons. Number one, it's a free program with quotes. And the reason why I put quotes is just simply because it's a free program, but there's a lot of people who have worked really, really hard on creating this program. And, when you do download it, they kind of do a subtle hint and just say, if you can, you'd like to donate. I really highly encourage you guys, whatever you can do, $5, $10, $20 or something, send them a PayPal payment, say thanks for the hard work, and great software, great program, because it really does kind of solve a lot of issues. And to be honest with you, it just saves time, and time is money for us. So I hope you guys appreciate their work that they put into this. So a couple things I'm going to do here, and let's see, I want to make things a little quick and easy, and sorry I didn't do this before, but I'm going to toss some images into a folder here so we can find them really quick. So yeah, we did a couple weddings this weekend. Friday, a little bit out of town, and got to do a wedding for another wedding professional. His his dad got married, and we had a great time down there. But man, yeah, photo booths at both events. I gotta say, like half of my events this year have photo booths in them. At least half. And it's the big thing about it is it's a little selfish, but I will admit that having photo booth service, when done right with your company, it's, to me, it's free advertisement. I'll be honest with you, it truly is free advertisement. So it just, I do a couple things that's unique. I do what's called session plus one printing, or at least that's what I call it. So if we do an open air concept booth, if we've got 15, 20 people in the booth, we'll make, if there's 15 people, we'll make 16 copies. And, if there's, everybody in the picture gets a copy to take home of every session that they're in. We still host the images online, let them download them and stuff, but that's part of the fun of the booth is you go through, you take those goofy photos and you get instant gratification of, getting the photo. Not all the packages that I offer have that, but, most of them do. And it's, every photo, if they've got 5 photos in their hand when they leave that night, they know they had a great time in the booth, and they know that they can go and, hit the website there and download the images, later on. And the other thing I do is just make sure that, get those photos up that night if you can. Set the stage, put everything, ready, whether you're using Smug Mug or one of the other services. And that way, because people are going to be looking the next day, and you don't want them to go there and forget about looking at it later. Something else that we did that was really cool on Saturday was we did, the couple didn't do a sign-in book, or a photo strip book, but what we did was we printed out an extra copy. We took the group over to a table, said, the first copy that came out, just let them know, hey, do me a favor, you guys all sign the back of this and just put a little note to the two of them on the back of this with a Sharpie, and do this while your other prints are being printed out. We'd greatly appreciate it. And at the end of the night, we were able to hand over, it was like probably 150 sessions, photographs, with messages on the back of those images that they could, look at the images and read the little message, for the two of them. And then if they wanted to make a little scrapbook later with them, they were able to do that. But it was just kind of a cool, easy idea. And, it didn't mess up the photo if they didn't care for the images. But I think it'll be kind of cool, even if they do a book where they can, tape them in a way where just the top's there and they can see the photos of their friends and family years down the road and flip it over. See those messages from their friends and family, from their wedding day on the back of it. It's just kind of a cool idea. Randy Bartlett's here joining us, and he says 75% photo booths at his weddings. Yeah, it's huge. It's one of those things that hasn't died down, and Randy was one of those main guys who I turned to when we he just looked at it a different way and saw how much was going wrong with some of the companies that were out there, especially. I share the same sentiment that he brought up originally, which is, the reason I started doing photo booths was because I just knew that it could be done better. And, I got sick and tired of working with these companies that were on, Groupon and stuff. I mean, I finally drew the line. I said, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not working with these companies anymore. When the last Groupon company showed up to the event at a very nice facility here in Sacramento, and the guy was literally standing in the back of the homemade booth, clicking the photos. I'm not that funny. I can't make this up. And he was clicking the photos and apparently doing a lot of Photoshop work behind the scenes, making printouts. Had his own little office set up back there. And then the attendant out front acting like they were doing something. So, and of course, all the guests bent over and, digging through a box of props on the ground, trying to see what sweaty, nasty prop they wanted to use next that was all crinkled and messed up. Where the Masters joins us here today. Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? San Francisco, busy place. You know, I got respect for you, man. I don't know how you can even work down in San Francisco. Parking would drive me nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2,000 pounds worth of gear I got to bring in. Where can I park? Oh, yeah, if you go 3 blocks down that way and just push it up the hill. Yeah, hopefully you've got someone to drop you off, or they've got some really good load-in areas. So San Francisco is definitely that place you want to make friends with the facility managers, so that you get the best placement of parking for those facilities. So, all right. See, you guys you're making me lose track of what I'm doing here. So let me go back in and I want to grab some photos, just so we have them ready to go. In fact, when we're talking about photo booths, why don't we do that? We'll go from this past weekend. Let's grab some of these prints. Actually, we're going to start with just a few first. All right. So, I know a lot of, like, even photo booth companies, some of your booths come with software, and the software itself for doing slideshows and everything, which is great. You know, you guys are going to be the only ones who can judge what's going to work best for you. But, you know, if this ends up working out better, then, you know, it'll work with any. I think the limitation is, I believe it's only available for PCs. So if you're running a booth off a Mac, which I've never seen before, but unless it's like the iPad booths. Oh, Uber DJ. Rhythm Master says he just calls an Uber. Oh, that Uber driver. I bet you have got 1-star rating, don't you, as a rider? Randy, you want to chime in? You drive for Uber, don't you? You have a 1-star rating. You show up. You've got your gear sitting on the sidewalk. Yeah, I need a large size van for a trip. How far? It's 2 blocks. Oh, okay. Well, how many people? 1. Okay. Yeah, can you help me load my gear? Great, thanks. Randy, you want to make some extra money? Head down to San Francisco. Where the Masters will chime you in on the weekends there. So we've got our software here. Now, in the description, I believe we've already got it set up. I've got the little website where you can download the software. If not, I will get to it as soon as we are done, you know, with the stream, and I'll get that put in there for you guys. But really easy to do. In fact, they've got a couple different options there, which was really, I thought was really cool. You can either do a complete download. FastStone.org is the website where you can install it into your system. And they've got a few different programs in here, but the first one, FastStone Image Viewer 6.2. So you can download that. If we go to the page here, you're going to see there's a couple different options. You've got the regular download here, a couple different sites, but you've also got one here. Look at this portable one. So if you download this, you can actually put the portable one on like a memory stick, and so if you end up having to use someone else's computer, or if you're at a facility that's like, oh yeah, we just have a system set up, you can actually just put this program on the memory stick with the photos and run the software off of the memory stick. It doesn't even it doesn't even have to be installed on their system, which is a really cool option. So if you're using someone else's computer, or you just want to, you know, have something temporary, it doesn't even have to be installed on the system. I have it on my USB drive as, you know, just backup in case I want to decide to have some weird idea I want to try, and have it on there as well. They've also got a tutorial on here if you want to follow along with that, and you know, and tips and stuff, which are always nice to have. about thumbnail settings, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go over as much as we possibly can today about this, but there's always going to be more. And I think that, you know, with everything, we're going to find more and more uses for it as well. So along with, if we go to our desktop here, first thing is we open up the software. At the top, we've got our menu bar and our usual things. We've got our little settings and language, different skins. Dark skin basically is what we call night setup, so it's not as bright in your eyes if you're working at night or just don't want it as apparent. Our thumbnail database manager and settings. So under settings, lots and lots of options. Our first tab, we got excuse me. All right, we've got viewer. So normal background black, that's just as we can see in the lower right corner here, if the photo only takes up a certain amount of space, it'll fill in the rest with black, which is usually what we do. If we turn this to, say, white, then those photos, when we start the slideshow, are going to end up having a white background to them if they don't fill the space. We'll go back to black here. There's some other options here. We've got show file name in full screen and text. This is one of those that I usually uncheck because I don't want, you know, the image, I don't want it to like show the file name, which, you know, whether it's 0.2564 or whatever on top of the photo. I just want the image. Show file name in full screen in the background. Nope. Loop, that's one where, yeah, we want it to be continuous. You can have it show that, you know, all the photos once or continuous. We've got different filters that you can adjust to. If you want the image itself, no matter what you put in there, to be softer or sharper images, you can add that smooth filter into it. Escape, confirm on escape exit. So if we hit escape, it'll exit out of our current slideshow. One of the biggest, one of the coolest things, and this is what I searched for a long time, and the problem I had with a lot of slideshow programs is, you know, if we went in and say started a show, it would take over the entire computer. Like if we're using this on a photo booth or a laptop, we usually have an extended screen, whether it's onto a projector or onto a second screen. Then we would want to use that second screen only as the slideshow, but still be able to use our main screen to be able to do work or, you know, use for the photo booth software or for our DJ software. And if it took over both, it would just, you know, black out the screens and then it'd be useless. It's just a slideshow computer. So one of the cool things about this is if I hit this little icon up here, which shows a little play button, this brings up our slideshow menu. And whatever screen I have this on is basically going to be my slideshow screen. So if where is, oh, my chat disappeared. Sorry about that, guys. So I've got all that. Bring that back up. And so, you know, whatever screen you want this to work on, you can drag it over to that screen, have this open and hit the play icon. And then when you start the slideshow, then that screen only will be the slideshow. And that's, you know, that real key tool so that we're not end up using the entire computer, especially with multiple screen setups. I have not tried it with, say, if you have a system set up with 3 screens and you want the slideshow to be on screen, say, 2 and 3 as identical, then what I would suggest is just setting up your computer to where, you know, screen 2 and screen 3 show the same thing. And then that would work out really well. So as we open up the program here, we're going to find what folder we want to actually work with. So on our, basically what I did is on the desktop, I set up a slideshow music and slideshow images. So if we select this folder, we see our images here. And you can, you know, in the software itself, if we wanted to actually proceed to modify the files, then hit OK. and that will actually rotate images if you're wanted to go through and rotate images that are in the wrong direction really quick before the show starts. And so all these are going to be in the right direction. So the first basic is, as we said, let's talk about the slideshow itself. And we hit play, and our menu comes up. So we've got our background color is black, and that's just going to fill in the areas on the screen that do not have an image. We've got autoplay, random order, so we can click that, and that'll just play in a random order. We've got loop, we want that, so it'll continuously loop. Autoplay across folders. That would be if you have multiple folders set up and you wanted to go from one folder to the next. You can, this one, stretch small images. No, we want to, if they're, let's see, crop. Okay, so if you do stretch small images, there's two options you have. Stretch small images just means it's going to fill the screen and keep the aspect ratio. Now, if you click this one to the right, crop to fit full screen, then what'll happen is it's going to kind of zoom in on the image until it fills the screen on all edges. So if we look in the lower right corner here, it would zoom in to fill the left and right side, but then it's going to cut off the top and bottom a little bit. So that might not be the best choice, but it may, for certain situations, it may work out. Smooth image rendering. I like that, sounds good. Show text file name, that's where we want to uncheck. Use transition effects. Now, look at this, 156 effects available. So transition effects, there's a little box next to it. If we click on that, this shows us all these different transitions. And as you click on them, it'll show you the preview on the right here. And let's see, unroll. That's kind of cool. Let's see, and most of these are stuff I see in like my Vegas software that we use for video editing. And one of the cool things is if you go to the top, or actually the bottom, you can click all, and then it'll just randomly select one as it goes through, and keep it different. Most of the time what I do is I'll select none, and if I hit default 1, then it just basically uses the fade in and fade out. Or I might select just a couple, because I don't know, I'm one of those people that get annoyed when it's just people start paying too much attention to the less attention to the photos and more attention to some of the cheesy effects that we see on there. So, but just for this, we're going to go select all so that we can see what it does. Effect duration, that will actually adjust how long it takes for that fade to happen. So we'll go longer, let's say 4, and then we also have under autoplay, how long do we want each photo to be up there for? So you can play with that. 3 seconds has been kind of a go-to, just because I don't want it to be, I want people to get a lot of ideas, but I also want them to be able to view the photos. Now when we're doing photo booth, usually I don't show the final print photos. What I'm usually doing is showing the individual images in full screen, so that they get an idea of different poses and stuff while they're waiting in line. And then you can also have down here, we've got music. So if we click music, we've got a drop down box that shows nothing in there, but then we can click our box to the right of that, and it opens up our next one. So we want to add something, and on my desktop, I went ahead and pulled some music, which I know is royalty free, so that I don't get flagged here on YouTube for music rights. We get those violations. All right, so we've got one there. Hit OK. So we've got our song. Let's try it. Hit play. Not bad. Not bad. So we've got our music there. I lost all control of my, here we go. So I'm sorry if that was loud to you guys. Hey, DJ Tony is here. Hey, man. No, yeah. Glad to help you out yesterday. He was running into an issue. And, well, it was Grand VJ? Is that your issue? Make sure you write your question there, unless you write your question in the chat. That way, at the end of this, we can cover it. Maybe help some other people out as well. He was running into an issue, and I was able to help him out via Facebook Messenger. Ended up being so. Yeah, I try and help as much as I can. Usually, I'm in the middle of events, so I apologize if I don't get back to you guys on the weekends right away. But I try and help as many people out as possible if you end up running into issues. But the moral of the story is, please test out before you go to your events. I don't think Tony, I don't know if you were at your event or not, but I'm not assuming you were. But yeah, test it out during the week. That way I can help out a lot more during the week than while I'm at an event. So we've got, that was our first slideshow there. And, you know, if we want to do it, let me do it again without the music so that I can talk over this. So we've got our slideshow started, and it just kind of continuously rolls and changes. Kind of nice part about doing, say, if we want to do a slideshow with these images. Oh, end of show. Okay, I must not have hit play. Oh, that's what. I didn't hit the loop button, so now let's see if it'll continue. Is that you'll see that you know, the photos themselves just change. It looks like the photos in the middle are on our backdrop basically change instead of the backdrop itself. And I think the different effects that you use will also, if we did a fade only, then I think it would look better in this aspect, because you're not going to see like the change happen all throughout the entire image, but just on the photos themselves, like we just saw there. And in fact, let's give that a shot. We're going to go and change our effects. Let's go with just the fade in, fade out, and see what this looks like. So this should make it look like just the images themselves change instead of the background, which is cool. But the cool part about this is then their monogram and stuff shows the entire time. And if you have a big enough screen, I think this works out really, really well. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys usually what we end up doing. So these are the images that we're usually using. So Control. Let's do a new folder here. And think about what else can we use this for? I'm talking a lot about what I use it for photo booth, but you know, I've got there's been 3 or 4 events this year where clients said, "Hey, do you have any we want to do slideshow, like, you know, at our event. Do you have any options of like making one?" And I always look, I can create one for you where it's, you know, usually about 8 to 10 minutes, and it you know, 3 different songs, and it's customized, and I scan everything in, and it basically tells kind of that story of how you guys, you know, came to be. So it starts off with like photos of the bride, then photos of the groom, and then photos of them together, and it's kind of an event of the night. But that's expensive, you know. But if, you know, a lot of times they're like, we just want something like at the gift table, just continuously playing throughout the night, or just up on the wall continuously playing throughout the night. Then what I offer to them is I go, oh yeah, I do have a couple different options for that. Number one, we've got, you know, for $100 we can do a TV screen, and you give me all the photos you want, as long as they're JPEG images. Scan them in, number them. If you want them in order, then you're gonna, you know, number them 0001 and 0002 for however long you want. And when we go into our FastStone image viewer, then we can tell it to either do random order or in that order. Now, if they want random order, then I just tell them, yeah, put them whatever, as long as they have different file names, doesn't matter, just put them all in the same folder. And I send them a link to upload them to my Dropbox page, and then download them and test them out. Now, usually clients do a pretty bad job at cropping and stuff, so I may spend a little bit of time just cropping each one, make sure that there's not like the white lines or make it that it looks kind of funky. But usually I might just do the cropping itself and then call it a day. But then if we do, let's see, random order and hit, let's see. So we're going to select this other folder. Whoops. This folder here. And let it play in order. We're going to loop it, hit play. And then as these change, you can see, the difference here. So if we did the same slideshow, but selected a different option, like say crop to fit, let's see what that looks like. Now it fits the whole screen, but we may start to notice we're going to lose something at the bottom or something at the top, but it will fill the entire screen. See, we lost this guy's head. When usually that photo would, let's see what that photo would look like if we didn't crop. And by using the left and right tool, you can actually continue the slideshow but skip. So I think that was the photo that cut his head off, and it should transition here. And now it doesn't. So if you get in a bind and you see something that shouldn't be up there inappropriate, you can kind of skip through it and then stop the show and take it out of the show. Here's the other really cool thing that is usually not mentioned on this, and that is that whatever folder you are playing, it's going to monitor that folder. And so if you are using a photo booth and let's say this is the folder that your photo booth is dumping these new prints into, then when a new print pops into this folder, it will automatically, it takes a photo, goes into the folder, it automatically turns into the next image that shows up on the screen. And then the slideshow, and then the program goes back to the other photos until it receives another new photo. And then it'll pop that one up. And from there, it will just continue to do that. So they automatically get added into the rotation. But when a photo gets taken, instantly it pops up on the screen so people can see, the way it looks as it's being taken. All right. So we've talked about that. But in the chat, chime in. Let me know what other ideas do you have that we can use this for. Like I said, we've got 3 or 4 events just this year where we used it for, just a TV sitting at the sign-in table and played a slideshow. We spent absolutely pretty much no time on it. Where's my? There it is. Haha, my toy. I love this thing. So we talked about this. If you haven't seen this yet, the Asus stick. It is, a full PC. I have, go in my videos. I've done a whole review on it and showing you how to use this thing. It's a full Windows 10 PC. I have this program on here, and when I want to do a slideshow, I just pop this into the back of a TV. I don't have to set up a computer or anything else, and it plugs right into the HDMI slot, and it's done. I mean, it's just too easy. I was at a facility, they wanted to do an instant slideshow on the projector that was in the facility. No problem. I preloaded the photos on here, got to the event, plugged this into the system. They had an HDMI port on the wall, plugged this into the wall, and started the slideshow. I mean, it had very, very little equipment. Hey, we got a new subscriber, Sean. Thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, right down below, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to it, there's a little bell icon. Hit the bell icon, and it'll alert you whenever we go live. Because it can happen at any time, and you're not gonna, definitely don't want you to miss out on the content. And then you'll see your name and it'll pop up right over here too. And then if you guys down in the description, you can also find the link if you want to tip and contribute to the stream itself. Then just follow that link there, and then you'll see your name pop up, not just on the screen during the live stream, but you will also join Dean down here in our tip ticker there. So for contributing, and it definitely helps out. Lets me continue the streams. And oh, there you go, Photo Booth Emporium. Hey, we got a photo booth company in here. Cool. Appreciate you subscribing. Thanks for being here with us. All right, so you can someone who tipped the channel. There you go. Tip up to $10,000. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ian. Anywhere between 10,000 and yeah. What is Dean Spy 20 scrolling at the bottom? That is if you tip and contribute to the stream, it automatically will do that. So you will be on the stream there, showing that you support the stream and the content. If I, do something that helps you out, saves you some time, saves you money, you can help out the stream there. It's always appreciative, and it always blows me away and let me know that you guys want to see the content continue. Yeah, because all this pretty much the entire studio was built off of can money. I just went around collecting soda cans so I could bring you this content, guys. So any help would be appreciative. No. So okay, cool. Let's see. We've got any other questions in the chat here. Oh yeah, DJ Tony says Grand VJ couldn't get the program to read my TVs. Yeah, it was. I'll cover that here in just a second, just in case other people are using that. But how would you sync folders between the photo booth and the Asus stick? Ooh, good question. I know there's a way. This is almost a Drax question, but you probably still wouldn't understand it, or a Ben Stowe question. Because I have to ask our resident, at least a resident tech guy. I guess that would be me. Wait a minute. Main computer guy here in Sacramento, Mr. Rick Bird. He's probably got some ideas on. It would involve remote desktop software, I think, to where you can control that, and have them linked together. And then probably the easiest way would be just set up. Like, for example, in my DJ console, I put a wireless router in it. It's not connected to the internet, but I wanted to be able to communicate between different devices, including my sound effects processor that I use, the Rack Pro effects, and control it with like my iPhone and stuff, and virtual DJ stuff like that, where it has apps where I can control it from just the phone itself, and volume and tracks and all that. And having a network that is secure, increases the range of what I can do around the room itself. And if you do that with like a photo booth, then it can connect to like iPads and stuff if people want to put in have an iPad kiosk for emails and all that. I haven't gotten into that aspect of it yet, but hopefully maybe someday soon I'll be getting into that. Let's see. We've got, how much is the Asus stick? Asus stick right now, I believe last time I checked was about $120. Be careful, because I mean this is the one after a lot of research I found is one of the most powerful. There is one that's a little bit more powerful, and technology changes every day, so there's always something bigger, better that comes out. But like the next one up was like $800 or something. It was a little bit more powerful, but I wanted something that would work, and this definitely cuts the bill. And some of these come with the computer itself, but it doesn't have, say, Windows on it. You'd still have to buy Windows, and this comes with Windows. So that's another one of those important features on it. Let's so we've got the talked about the Asus stick. How much? And then the only other thing I think you'd have to buy with the Asus stick is something like this. I just bought, it was $20 little wireless keyboard and mouse. I know the Asus stick itself comes with, you can get an app for iPhone or Android that allows you to turn your phone into a keyboard and mouse. I tried. I never got it to work right, so I didn't want the headache, so I just did a Bluetooth. And the memory, the Asus stick, and I keep wanting to call it a memory stick because it's so small, has a USB 3.0 port and a USB 2.0 port. So, and then you've got your charging. So you do have to plug this in, and the power supply is, it's tiny. It just looks like a USB charger, but you have to use theirs because it is definitely rated. I mean, it's rated for 2 amps, so it pulls a lot of power. And then this itself just plugs into the their little DC port, which looks like the mini USB. And so you do have to plug that in and have power to this to run it. But you can either just at the event stick the memory stick in here. Usually what I do though is a tip, just so it does not having to read from a memory stick, plug in the memory stick and just grab the folder and dump it onto the desktop when you start up the memory stick. One of the things I did with this was I added it's got Wi-Fi built into it and everything, so I added this to my Dropbox folder, and I just made a Dropbox folder in my main database, which is PC stick. And so anything I add to that, when this thing fires up, it automatically downloads that information and stores it. So it'll keep a copy of it on here. It also has sound out. So if you are doing we want to plug in a powered speaker to this and just pump up the sound itself, you're able to do that. I use this for doing monograms because motion and static images. When I do static images, I actually use the FastStone image viewer to show the static images in full screen, so that we don't have anything else on the screen. And then if I'm doing video, then I just use the Windows Media Player on this, because Windows Media Player will do the loop seamlessly and not have any issues. It'll play MP4s and all that. And it just looks incredible instead of the media players that are out. And I'd rather have the option of all the extra options that come with having a full computer there in a small package. So let's see. Is there a certain model? No. If you go, the model number itself it's an Asus Vivo stick. And they usually have it's TS-10 is kind of the model number, but they only have one right now. But that's the current model number there. Let's see. Yeah, there's slight delay. So as I get to your guys' questions here, Mike, I could send you 4 big bags. I'm lost. Must have missed something else. You have another conversation there. Oh wait. All right. Let's see. Other than that, the other things software is good for is that you can actually also edit images as well with it. So if you want to show images full screen or do our edits, rotate, flip, resize, we draw our borders, then we've got a bunch of tools here. of what we can, you know, add to it. So it's kind of a mini Photoshop of adding things in. We get in a bind, we want to add something. Pretty limited on what you're able to do here as far as making things see-through and stuff, but and then you can organize photos. The other cool thing I actually use a lot is batch conversion. So if we do batch conversion and I want to select, say, all of these and rename them to, say, a date, 6/12. Oh, output folder. So if you want to rename things to facility or facility name or something, it'll go through, process all those. And that's just with the file size or the file name itself. We're also going to see here, and done. Match. We can output as just a completely different file format. So if you want consistency, then you can add them all in there and just make sure that they're all JPEG images instead of some JPEG, some PNG. And then settings. So if you know we're using, if you have a batch of photos, ooh, we want to use these all for web or want to upload these, and you don't want them quite as big, then you drop the files, you know, the quality down a little bit. It's going to make it smaller. You can change the actual color, better quality color, let's see, progressive optimum. A lot of this stuff would, or you know, smoothing. That just kind of will actually make some of the, depending on how good the photos are. If they're low quality image, you're going to start to see some kind of pixelization, and smoothing is going to help those out quite a bit. So if, say, we made these a lot smaller just to see a difference, and convert, do you want to overwrite? No. So let's go into that folder real quick, which is our output folder. Now all of these are labeled as new because that's what I ended up putting in there at the last second, is new, and then in the order. So if you want to rename them for the date itself or do something like that, then it will do that all in just a session instead of going through each one by one. Michael, it says, how do you do tips? Yeah, just go to the link just below in the description. See where it says it. The last second is new, and then I'll mute that. It just says donate, and you can see the youtube.streamlabs.com link there. Should be able to help you out there and kind of explain what you need to do for that. But I appreciate the question there. Asus Vivo Stick TS10 Intel Atom. Yeah, it's got the mobile processor in it. Is it turned on? No, it's not turned off, is it? Oh, come on. You're killing me. Shouldn't be. Let's see. it pops up. It'll pop up with it. Should pop up with a screen like this. And that would be, let's, if I click. Yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm new to all this too, so. Okay, your name must, oh, okay, I got it. My name is too long on this, great. Submit. Hey, all right, I'm not gonna do that because I might show my information, which I'm not gonna do live on stream. It will just cause a lot of. So, yeah, it should work out fine for you guys. If it's not a, let me know. I'll try and figure it out for the next one. But definitely thanks for asking. Oh, that's right. It won't let you. Let me see if I can. It won't let you paste links in the chat. But I can see if I can paste a link. Yeah, in the chat, that's super chat. You have to use the link in as far as tipping, you have to use the link. I don't do the super chat. You have to use the link in the description in order to tip. And plus you won't show up on the stream if you tip with the super chat on. It just doesn't pop up. So I'd rather have you a part of the stream itself as well. Okay. So back to our program here. Let's go. Where did it go? Cool. Okay. So any final questions? Let me know, guys. Put questions in the chat itself. But I do want to answer. I know we had a little issue this weekend. Someone had an issue with Grand VJ, and it's a pretty simple fix that that I want to just share with everybody in case you're using Grand VJ. And so it was, who was we talked to over the weekend here? Tony, that's right, Tony. Cancel words? No, just want to try. Thank you. And so what the problem he's having, he couldn't get Grand VJ to recognize his screens. His setup was, his laptop, and then he had his computer screen set up, and it was just the only thing it had to do with it was just the order of doing things in. And I think actually, as Randy had this issue a week before that, and had to walk him through, I think, the same thing. It might have been why it was fresh in my mind. And basically, when you start up Grand VJ, this should be the last thing you do. So if you start up Grand VJ and then connect your projectors or your TV screens, and then a lot of people will, wait till this starts up here. So we go through the process, start Grand VJ, and then they go, okay, we got Grand VJ up. Let's go into our display settings. I'll bring that over here, and you guys can see kind of the screen display I've got set up, or the display the way it's set up in my office here. So we've got 3 screens total. And then they add the other screens themselves, and then hit OK, and those pop up. Here's the problem: if you start Grand VJ first, then when you go into your file and preferences, what'll happen is your displays, it's not going to show those other displays. So the simple solution to it is that you restart Grand VJ once you have those screens up, or just don't start Grand VJ. Step 1 always for an event when you're using it is just start your laptop. Let's fire up the projectors, turn on the TVs, whatever, and then extend desktop to those screens. Okay, we know we've got signal to those screens. Got it. Okay, on to the next step. Now let's start our software. Now start Grand VJ. And then when you start Grand VJ, then all of a sudden those will appear under your preferences, under display. So what was happening is he only had one choice, which was the Samsung. And if for example, if you're using a laptop or anything and there's only one on here, or it says, you know, all connected devices, say we're using that, I'll just do the Samsung for this one. Here's what happens. You hit OK. And if you've got your main display set up for full screen, you click toggle full screen mode. Yeah. So all of a sudden we can't do anything because it turns black. And the shortcut for that is, you know, we went into full screen. So full screen F, so Control F takes us in and out of full screen. So you don't have to reset your computer. Someone shared that with me, which, it's a huge time saver. I used to have to just do a hard reboot. And so we do custom resolution. I don't want custom resolution. We want 19. Yeah, should work the same night. Oh, that's why. Okay, so this should be 1920. Let's see, 1080. And if we go into full screen, it goes completely black. And at this point, you start panicking, going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," because it's using the screen as your video output. So again, Control F takes us out of full screen, or Control F will, believe it takes you right into full screen. So maybe not. Control F will take you out, that's for sure. So that's the shortcut, and yeah, it won't recognize the screens unless you have those up to begin with. So put that on your checklist as far as the order to do things in, and save yourself a lot of panic at the event itself for that. So going back to our chat here, any final questions for you guys? We've got which FastStone version would you recommend? Let's see. We've got, I think they've only got like the one. Now they've got some different programs available. But if we go back to their site here, this first one is the viewer. Looks like it was last updated on February 17th. So 6.2. And then you've got FastStone Capture. So they've got some other stuff we might share at a later date. Which is just a capture tool. It will capture, video, all kinds of stuff from, web pages and all that. We've got our FastStone Photo Resizer, freeware, and then some of this shareware. And then, so we've got to downloads. Then you have a couple different options. So you've got the main download. These other ones, Site 2 and Zip, are just different sites that you can download them from if one doesn't work. You've got your tutorials and you got your tips, and then the portable one, remember the portable one is there. It doesn't actually install into your system, so you can just put the portable version of this on a memory stick, and if you're going to use someone else's computer, so you don't have to install the program on their computer, you can just use the computer as the computer to show it, and keep the program on the memory stick itself. That doesn't take up much room, so but you also don't want to mess with someone else's computer. With the zip, if you download the zip, just make sure, as always, just unzip it. And again, I highly stress it. You got, when you download, hit that donate button. It doesn't take much, but show your appreciation for their hard work in being able to their hard work in putting this kind of stuff together. And saving us a lot of time and just giving us some different tools, because it is free for us, but it's nice to always show our appreciation for that. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week. And any other questions, feel free to comment in the comment section below. I'm going to answer those as well. And share this video with anybody that you guys think would find it beneficial and it would help them out. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook. We've got our Facebook groups, 1% Solution and Living Motion Monograms. Do a search for those groups, ask to be approved, and Randy and I are going to make sure you get in those groups and join the party itself, because just great content being shared. and a lot of helpful people, especially if you want to improve your performance as an entertainer, as well as if you want questions answered and improve what you do with more of the technology stuff on the Living Motion Monogram side. Check out our website, livingmotionmonograms.com. And for those of you who are sharing and want, we've got a new tool out for your clients to pick their monogram design. If you've already bought the tools disc, or if you are just you want me to do the designs for you, then check out the client website, which would be pickmymonogram.com. And it's just a non-branded site that you can send your clients to, and they can pick out the design they love. And then you can order it over at livingmotionmonograms.com. Or if you already have the tools disc, which includes all the designs at the Living Motion Monograms website, then you can make those edits and save yourself some money and continue to make more money for your events. That's what it's about, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being here. We will see you guys next week. And plus, if you guys have any ideas you want to see content in a future stream, leave me a message in the comment section below so that we can have that, put that in the lineup of stuff you would like to either see reviewed or explained or tutorial on. And we'll get on it for you, because that's what this channel is about. I want to help you guys out. I want to save you time, save you money, help you understand what's out there, and just make life easier for you. That's what it's about. All right, enjoy. Have a great day. We will see you guys next week, and look forward to seeing all of you guys. Take care. Have a great day.